Very good morning to you. It is Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. Make fun all you'd like right now. Have at it. This is the best I got. Welcome to winter, almost. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome to ONNJ Mornings. The phone lines are open 888-658-0234. Mostly sunny today, highs mid 30s. Actually, highs about 30. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with a full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, I feel like Peter Brady in the song, and it's time to change. Yes, it's time to change.
Oh boy.
The voice is gone, gone. This is what I get for flying on Thursday. I had to catch a flight at the last second, and everybody on the plane was hacking up a
Mm.
lung. So yours truly now has this.
We're going in this big seesaw pattern with the change in the weather from the hot to cold, the hot to cold. I know, the traditional thinking is that's what gets you sick. We know there's science that doesn't back it up, but still, it's uncomfortable. And it's the kind of weather that gets you kind of in a tizzy because you walk out the door and you're not sure of what to wear, especially this morning when you look at these temperatures and go, doesn't that seem a little odd that it's only 25 in Newark? Yeah, that's cold, but it's even 6 degrees colder in Trent. Oh, excuse me, 9 degrees colder in Trenton. It dropped a few more degrees right now, 12 in Mount Holly. Remember, central and southern portions of the state picked up several more inches of snow. So there's a deeper pack, hence colder air, and that allowed for a more effective radiational cooling last night with that fresh snowpack and, of course, a lighter breeze overnight. Wind chills, not that much colder because there's not a whole lot of wind, so the clear sky last night, the still air allowed for a lot of chill to return. And this morning, yeah, it's a few degrees colder in spots, like in Mount Holly, 5 degrees colder than this time yesterday. So we were clear throughout the overnight. We'll stay that way this morning. Lots of sunshine expected today. A few clouds arriving by the afternoon, but overall, a cold pattern. Temperatures struggling just to make it back to the freezing mark. So we're still at or below the freezing mark today, even down toward LBI and places like Atlantic City. Maybe get up to 40 briefly when that wind starts to move in, but that's overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Starting off our Wednesday, not terribly cold. We'll actually make it up to 40 by the afternoon, so it'll feel a little bit better. As we head into Thursday, that wind comes off of the water, brings in some even more milder air, comes at a price. There will be some clouds around, but temperatures may briefly make it to 50 throughout the day Thursday before some rain comes in Thursday night, clears out by Friday morning, and then we're left with another shot of cold weather that takes us into the weekend. Temperatures back down in the 20s overnight and feeling quite cold throughout the early morning on Saturday. So for the next few days, figure a little bit milder, comes with some clouds and rain by Friday, but the temperature warms up a little bit and we see a clearing going into the weekend. So a little bit of an up and down each and every day, Ken, taking it into Christmas week.
Well, there you have it. And even my traffic computer seems to not be working well. So what we'll do is we'll go straight to thank you, Mike. We'll go straight to temperature. First off, in Trenton right now, it is 18 degrees, chilly willy. It is 16 degrees down in Vineland. And that is the way it is this morning. But as Mike has mentioned, it's going to get up to around 30 degrees, nice and warm for your Tuesday. Let's take a look if we can right away. Let's go to the approaches to the Hudson River. What we're seeing right now on the Lincoln and Holland, about 25 minutes in at the Holland, it's about 30 to 35 at the Lincoln. And let's go over to the GWB upper and lower levels. You can see just absolutely bumper to bumper a mess. A lot of ice still on the roadways. Mike warned us about this yesterday, and he said because we're going to be going through the periods of freezing, refreezing, etc., freezing, melting, refreezing. Just beware of that. So what looks like simply a little wetness on the roadways is actually potentially black ice. You have to be careful of that. So right now it's going to cost you about 40 minutes going over the GWB, making your way into Manhattan. Remember, all week we have a gridlock alert day every day this week into Manhattan. We do, okay, here we go. Our incidents just popped up finally. So we have a crash on Route 55 southbound, south of exit 56, Route 47 in Deptford. The left lane is closed. And a crash on the Turnpike Inner Roadway northbound, exiting 13A, which is by Newark Airport. That's going to be bad. A lot of people headed out of town. They're going to have issues getting to the airport as a result. So again, that's New Jersey Turnpike inner roadway northbound, exiting interchange 13A at Newark Airport by 1 and 9 in Elizabeth. We have police department activity 678 southbound by exit C. That's at the New York State border. And we have a down pole at 202, and that is in both directions, so that are impacted by Newark Pompton Turnpike in Wayne. The right lane is currently closed. Let's see what else we have here. That's about it. We have delays on the Garden State northbound from south of 149 to just north of exit 150, about a 2-mile delay by Hoover Avenue, Nutley, that area, and that is simply due to volume. So give yourselves a little extra travel time. 'Tis the season for volume. It is 7:06 right now, and authorities yesterday released new videos and pictures of a person of interest dressed in dark clothing as officials continue to search for the gunman in the deadly attack at Brown University that killed 2 students and wounded 9 others. Providence, Rhode Island Police Chief Oscar Perez released 3 photos and 3 videos of a person authorities say they are looking to identify who was walking near the university's campus. Remember, they had a person of interest. They talked to the person. It turns out that was not the person who was in the video. The woman you see on camera right now or on screen was the first victim who was fatally shot on the campus. She is apparently known to be a conservative person, a religious person, a conservative Christian, the vice president of the Republican Club. The question is, did that have anything to do with her shooting? Police have been very, let's just say, many have said that this investigation is sloppy. They've been very slow to release information that may be pertinent to the case to help people find anybody responsible. Many of the students have been allowed to go home for the holidays. So any potential witnesses aren't even there anymore. It's unbelievable. One witness, an eyewitness who said that he locked eyes, or she locked eyes, don't know if it's a male or female, locked eyes with the shooter, said that the individual had a long arm, yet the police chief, Oscar Perez, says there were only 2 handguns used. Also, one of the witnesses said that the shooter shouted something, potentially Allahu Akbar, which would imply a Islamist, not somebody who was Muslim, but an Islamist. There is a difference. There are good religious Muslims. Please do not confuse that with Islamists. Those are people who specifically want to have intifada and kill for the faith. There is a big difference. 99.9% of Muslims are good religious people. Please understand that. But in this case, a witness says that they heard the person shout, Allahu Akbar, and yet the police are not talking about that, or the mayor. The mayor is this emasculated wimp who doesn't seem in control of his city, and the governor seems like a big dope. Honestly, I'm sorry to criticize at this point, who literally spent the last 2 news conferences congratulating his various police departments for doing the job they're paid to do. It's really an embarrassment. So we'll see where this goes, but my bet is it'll be a while before they get the person responsible. This is what happens, honestly, once again, when you get a Democrat mayor, Democrat governor, Democrat council, Democrat legislature. They're all good old buddies. As long as, if you want the job and you're a Democrat, you got the job. That's what happens in Rhode Island. And now when they need real police, real lawmakers, they got nothing. These people don't know what they're doing. And you have dead students, unfortunately, who deserve better. Brown University, it's one of the best endowed, oldest Ivy League colleges in America. Yet apparently they were lacking surveillance video. Pardon me, they didn't have key passes on the doors. Doors were unlocked. This is where you're sending your kid to school? Really? That's the security you have? Did we forget about 9/11? What is wrong with these people? So we'll see if it goes anywhere. My bet, it'll be a very long time before they find the person responsible, sadly. 7:09, New Jersey Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill announced Jennifer Davenport as her nominee for the state's next Attorney General. Davenport is a lifelong public servant. She's dedicated over 15 years to law enforcement at both the state and federal level. Governor-elect Sherrill praised Davenport's experience in complex civil and criminal cases and her commitment to public service. Davenport has served in top roles, pardon me, at the New Jersey Attorney General's office, including First Assistant Attorney General and Principal Law Enforcement Advisor. She also held positions with the DEA, U.S. Attorney's Office, and private practice, bringing a lot of legal expertise. Davenport says she is honored to continue her career in public service, focusing on keeping residents safe and advancing affordability across the state, though she is known to be very far left of center. So expect another Matt Platkin, a duplicate in Ms. Davenport. It is 7:10 right now. As we reported yesterday, Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner were found dead inside their Brentwood, LA home on Sunday. As of yesterday, Reiner's son, Nick, remained behind bars as authorities continued to investigate the stabbing of the iconic Hollywood director and his wife. Friends of Rob and Michelle Reiner said that Nick had gotten into an argument with his parents at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party Saturday evening. Nick was behaving strangely, and he and Rob got into a very loud argument, causing the director and Michelle to leave the party. Nick Reiner's $4 million bail was revoked yesterday, and he has no bail option at this point, meaning he's stuck behind bars till there's a trial or they change their mind. The death investigation will be presented to the LA County's District Attorney's Office today. Australian leaders promised yesterday to immediately overhaul already tough gun control laws after a mass shooting targeted a Hanukkah celebration on Sydney's Bondi Beach. At least 15 people were slaughtered in the attack, which has fueled criticism that authorities are not doing enough to combat a surge in anti-Semitic crimes in Australia. Their proposal, crack down on legal gun owners even more. That doesn't seem to help. Clearly, terrorists don't give a shit, if you don't mind my saying so, about what gun laws say. Police were criticized for arriving 10 to 20 minutes after the shooting started. Right on it, boys. They shot the two suspected gunmen, a father and son. The 50-year-old father died. His 24-year-old son remains in a coma this morning. 25 people are still being treated in hospitals, 10 of them in critical condition. And prescription drug prices keep going up, and New Jersey lawmakers are trying to fix that. A new bill called the Patient and Provider Protection Act just passed a key confirmation committee. If passed, the law would make pharmacy benefit managers follow new rules. They'd first have to put patients first, stop confusing marketing, ensure cheaper generic drugs aren't left out. The bill also helps independent pharmacies get fair payments and stops them from being forced to send patients to certain stores. Assemblyman Roy Freeman, who wrote the bill, says it'll make the system safer and fairer for both patients and pharmacies. Time is 7:12 right now. When we come back, we'll have more news, more traffic and weather as well. I'm Ken Rosato, watching ONNJ Mornings. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Go away.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
And welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings for your Tuesday. It is 7:15, mostly sunny today, highs around 30. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has your Garden State forecast for you.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Well, Mike, the good news is I'm starting to feel one or two of my toes after walking around the block yesterday.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold. Really stinks not to have a working shovel because it broke, in the middle of all the snow. So now you need the backup shovel, and you go to every hardware store, and of course they're not ready because it was this massive thump of snow that passed by. I was able to get like the last bag of salt, and I think we're clear at least until Christmas. So in addition to all the goodies and toys that the trucks are bringing that you see on your traffic cameras, hopefully some more winter weather preparedness supplies, because I think this was a bit of an earlier start to winter than many of us are used to across New Jersey, specifically the amount, again, going into this afternoon. Now, the good news is there will be a little bit of sunshine today, helping us to just crack the freezing mark there from Long Branch and Point Pleasant, even down toward Toms River. With all of this cold air, however, not a whole lot of wind today. I think tomorrow there's a bit more of a wind, which is why at 7 a.m. it'll feel like 10 up in Sussex, but not terribly cold down the shore. It's still at around the freezing mark. But that wind is coming in from the south, and that pushes in a milder feel that'll make it feel like the 30s. That'll feel nice by the afternoon. There are some more warm days ahead, especially for Thursday and Friday, with temperatures briefly reaching 50 down the shore, even the wind chills in the upper 40s, before another round of very cold air comes in into early next week. So yeah, it's going to be a cool round of weather that'll take us into the next few days, especially after some clouds around this morning, but at least no snow, no flurries, nothing going on weather-wise today. Just kind of a quiet day before we wait for our warm-up in the days ahead. Quick look at temperatures shows highs today just around the freezing mark, a little bit warmer tomorrow in the 40s by the afternoon, more sunshine throughout the day, and then clouds take over by the end of the day in advance of that little bit of rain that happens late Thursday night into Friday morning, but we're in the 50s, so we'll see a large round of rain as well as warming that'll help melt off a lot of the accumulation and just make it a sloppy mess by Friday morning. I think the weekend still has a little bit of a chill, especially with temperatures climbing only to 37 on Saturday, 45 by Sunday, and next week looks to be a little bit cooler as well. We'll detail that coming up with the 7-day forecast, Ken. That's in just a few minutes.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. We will check back with you on that. A very chilly 15 degrees now in Trenton. It's 17 in northern New Jersey. We have, by the way, this does not hurt. Somebody wrote me on social media, that sounds painful. I don't have a sore throat. I have no other symptoms except a little congestion and no voice. And believe me, my husband is very happy I can't talk around the house over the course of the day. He's like, preserve your voice. And he's saying it with such glee, I can't even tell you. Anyway, in terms of traffic, here's what we have. There is a weather-related issue again on the Ben Franklin Bridge, both directions from Pennsylvania to Camden. All lanes are open. The footwalk remains closed. So the footwalk is how pedestrians get across. It is loaded with ice. They don't want anyone on the footwalk, so they close that. Smart move. You just have to hop on a shuttle to get across the bridge. There's a crash on Route 10 northbound by Headley Avenue, Morris Plains. The right lane is closed. Police activity 678 southbound by the New York State border. The right lane is blocked. That is on 678. We have a crash on Route 55 southbound, south of exit 56, which is Route 47 in Deptford. All lanes are open right now, and we have a crash on the Turnpike in a roadway northbound south of exit 56, Route 47. Oh, we mentioned that. I'm sorry. We have a crash on the New Jersey Turnpike in a roadway northbound exiting. This is what happens when they update while I'm talking to you. In a roadway northbound exiting at interchange 13A, Newark Liberty Airport, and a down pole on 202 both directions by Newark Pompton Turnpike in Wayne, the right lane closed there. Now, your Hudson River crossings. The Holland is the best bet right now. Holland is going to cost you 25 to 30 minutes. Remember, we have a gridlock alert day in effect every day this week into Manhattan. But again, the Holland's your best bet this morning. The Lincoln Tunnel, we have issues right now. It says here there are delays at the Lincoln with a travel time of 35 minutes at least. And the GWB right now, we have delays specifically on the lower level. So you see the upper on the right, lower levels on the left. It's not telling us what the problem is on the lower level, but it says delays there are going to cost you about 40 minutes. Lower level, it's about 30 to 35 on the upper. So no matter what, if you're trying to make your way to Manhattan today, please either use mass transit, use a ride share where you commute together, kind of get together with some friends if you can, and try to save the number of cars going in. Plus, you'll save money with congestion pricing and congestion nosing as well. That's probably your best bet today. All right, it is 7:21, and we have an update now. He was on our show last week, and now New Jersey student Ryan Zhao has made it, yay, to the finals of the 11th Annual Breakthrough Junior Challenge. I knew he would. This is a global science video competition that highlights the brightest young minds in science. There he was when he was on the show with us a week ago. This kid is unbelievable. It's like talking to a computer, but a nice computer. So this highlights the brightest young minds in science, physics, and math. Ryan is just 17. He impressed judges with his creative video, earning him a spot among just 16 finalists on the planet Earth. When Ryan joined us here as a semifinalist, he shared his passion for science and explained his project in a way that only somebody of his superior intellect could do. His entry will now be evaluated by a panel that will include NASA astronauts and others. The Breakthrough Junior Challenge awards a total of $400,000 in prizes, including $250,000 for the winning student, go Ryan, $50,000 for their teacher, and a $100,000 state-of-the-art science lab for their school. Fans can support Ryan by viewing and liking his video online, helping him gain momentum in the popular portion of the contest. Fingers crossed. We want to have the champion on, a handsome devil. We want to have him on, and when he's the world winner, we know he could do it. All right, 7:22. Last Saturday, the Joseph LaCroce Foundation delivered hundreds of toys to Virtua Health in Voorhees as part of its annual holiday toy drive. Good for them. Volunteers unloaded gifts and passed them bucket brigade style into the hospital, where pediatric staff sorted the toys by age and interest. The delivery was accompanied by a parade of classic and exotic cars and Virtua pediatric mobile units. The toys will be distributed to children served by Virtua's hospitals and mobile programs across South Jersey. It is the 14th consecutive year the Joseph LaCroce Foundation has supported Virtua with its annual toy drive. Thank you for doing that and being good New Jersey people. 7:23, Saturday, December 13th, there was, I should say, a special event marking National Reads Across America Day. So that was this past Saturday. The Elks Point Memorial in Freehold is where volunteers gathered to honor the vets. And this year, more than 2 million volunteers and supporters gathered to help remember and honor veterans at more than 5,200 locations all across the United States. If you want to support their cause of Wreaths Across America, go to wreathsacrossamerica.org. 7:23, Rider University's newly created Presidential Hope Fund has raised over $2 million in just over a month to support students facing financial hardships. The fund provides immediate financial assistance to students whose education may be at risk due to unforeseen circumstances like a job loss, unexpected medical bills, or other emergencies. The president of the university, President Loyak, who established the fund, by the way, said that it would ensure that, quote, no bronc is left behind when facing a temporary setback. Students can apply for assistance through an individual review process to meet their specific needs. But good for the university, good for the president for setting that up so the kids who may have a financial challenge are not forced to leave college. They could finish their education. It's a really good thing to do and a nice thing to talk about this time of year. 7:24, and Homes for Veterans partnered with Wounded Warrior Project this past weekend to host a, festive holiday celebration for veteran families at the American Legion in Edison. The event featured photos with Santa, a warm breakfast, and toys for kids of veterans, bringing joy to families during the holiday season. A lot of good people to talk about. Elon Musk, this is crazy. Elon Musk has become the first person ever worth at least $600 billion yesterday, on the heels of reports that his SpaceX startup was likely to go public at a valuation of $800 billion. So he's currently, right this minute, worth at least $600 billion and could be worth at least $800 billion in the days ahead. Musk, who was the first to surpass 500 billion in net worth in October, owns a 42% share of SpaceX, which is preparing to go public next year. Musk's wealth also got a boost from his 12% stake in Tesla, shares of which have risen 13% so far this year. Remember, everybody was pissed off when they thought that he was a pure Trump supporter, and all the liberals who own Teslas got rid of them. So the Tesla stock went down. Now that things have quieted down, people realize Tesla's a great car, and they bought the cars again. So the shares have risen 13%. In November, Tesla shareholders approved a $1 trillion pay plan for Elon Musk. That is insane. That's the largest corporate pay package in history, as investors endorsed his vision of morphing the EV maker into an AI and robotics corporation. Now we go from a successful person in the world of robots to not so successful. Remember the company iRobot? They're the ones who made the Roomba vacuum cleaner. That was one of the first major vacuums, if not the first. They may have been the first. Well, they have filed for bankruptcy protection as of Sunday, saying that it would go private after being bought by Favetta Robotics, its primary manufacturer. The company, which raised concerns about staying in business in March, filed for Chapter 11 protection as it grapples with increased competition from lower-priced rivals and new U.S. tariffs. So what happens is you go online to buy a robot vacuum. Robot makes amazing robot vacuums. The problem is what pops up is all these competitors that are cheap. Many of them come from China. They're copies. So the Chinese are notorious for grabbing an American product with American innovation and reverse engineering them and making a cheap version that breaks and whatnot of the American product. And then they market them to us for pennies on the dollar. And then our American companies go bankrupt, which is sad. But hopefully Favetta Robotics will rescue iRobot. They're a great American company. We wish the best. 727, when we come back, PSE&G and the PSEG Foundation are stepping in with a major effort to provide relief and stability to families throughout New Jersey. Sunshine today, temps about 30, the full Garden State forecast when we return. And we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. You're watching ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your Tuesday. I'm going to go step in the throat lozenge. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Very good morning to you. 7:30 on Tuesday, December 16th. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I am a very laryngetic Ken Rosato. Phone lines are open 888-658-0234. Sunshine today. Highs about 30. Meteorologist Mike Favetta is going to be here in a moment with the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So far, Mike, I'm told lots of tea and honey. Suck on tea and honey. I'm like, how do you suck on tea and honey? I think that's a combination of metaphors or something. But I will work on. I have these wonderful cough drops made by the H company, as in the
That
long
company.
room that takes you down
Right.
from one to another. It's honey and menthol, and I've been sucking on those to the point that I think I've gained 12 pounds. And they definitely help to keep you from coughing or anything. But
Sure,
I think
sure.
only time will
No, I've
happen
seen it
to
going
cure
around,
this.
even on Zoom calls, with conference rooms of people. You see the guy in the corner with the chloroseptic spray, spray in his mouth. So yeah, there's something going around, Ken. It's in the air. The winter season is here, even though technically it's still fall, and yet with all of this cold weather, the daylight hours getting shorter. We're actually 1 minute away from the shortest day of the year. So with the winter solstice being on Sunday, allowing for the least daylight hours of the year. At least we're starting off this afternoon with a little bit of sunshine and temperatures climbing into the upper 30s. So looking forward to a brighter finish to the day, even though it's a little cloudy this morning. Temperatures ultimately reaching the mid 40s, which will feel a little bit better, and climb to near 50 by tomorrow. The clouds that are around right now eventually pass on by and give us more sun later on today, helping us to climb into the mid 20s, low 30s down the shore. I think we'll manage to make it back into the mid 40s by tomorrow, maybe even 50 in spots, as long as that southerly breeze persists going into Thursday afternoon. There's our 48 in Tom's River. Then as we head into the end of the week, another round of rain. It's a rather large rain system that provides a decent help for the melting of all that snow. So you can see it arrive here by Thursday afternoon. Clouds increase, winds come from the south and west, and all of this rain that'll come down, give us a good soaking. And behind that is some cooler weather, not enough to promote a hard refreeze, but there could be some slippery spots around. As we head into Saturday and Sunday, however, it clears out, and then leading into next week, looking rather cool. The 7-day forecast with the weekend pointing to a milder start and then a little bit cooler by Saturday. Temperatures manage to make it back to 37, and then we're in the 40s for Sunday, first day of winter, with Monday climbing to 39 degrees. The shore points are even milder, could make it into the mid 50s by Thursday. I think even though it'll be cloudy Thursday afternoon, the mid 50s will feel like springtime, considering how cold it's been. That'll be really nice. And then the rain is done by early Friday morning, leading to a pretty dry weekend ahead. Not too shabby for Saturday and Sunday, with the high pressure and highs around 50. So it'll feel much better later on this week. And odd that at the end of fall, it's frigid, feels like it's the middle of January, and then the first day of winter up around 50 degrees. Go figure.
I'm telling you, just mark this date, okay? Here we are, the 16th of December. So by the 16th of February, I'm hoping we get these spring-like temperatures, and you could say, wow, everything is shifted about a month. That would be weird, because right
Nice.
now, right, isn't it sort of shifted like a
Yeah.
month? This is what we would normally get mid-January.
Right. So
And
let's
so
keep
let's
that
hope that that
trend going exactly to shift closer to spring.
I'm going to text Mother Nature. I have her in my phone. It's MN. Although I don't know that it's really Mother Nature texting back. Something tells me it's either a bot or somebody creepy because, well, we won't get into the detail about the pictures that were sent to me the other day. All right, Mike, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think Mother Nature's capable of that. We'll check back in a little bit. It is 15 degrees right now. I have issues. It's the medication, folks. 15 degrees right now in Trenton. It is 17 degrees northern New Jersey. 14 degrees right now in Vineland, and it is 19 degrees. The warm spot, Cape May, because the ocean water is a couple of degrees warmer, and that's keeping things a little warmer down at the shore. Let's take a look at what we have right now. We have a disabled vehicle on the Pulaski Skyway, northbound by Broadway in Jersey City. And look at what it has caused. So the left lane of the two lanes closed. There it is. So look down below. I think people have gotten word of what's happening at the Pulaski Skyway. And so you can see they're trying to take the down below. So there's the truck route down below, and that's what's caused this traffic. So that's an absolute mess right now. Good luck with that. We have weather-related issues on the Ben Franklin Bridge in both directions from the Pennsylvania to the New Jersey side. A lot of icing, and so you got to go slow with cars, and they've closed the footbridge entirely because they don't want anybody slipping from that height. We also have a crash now on Route 10 northbound at Headley Avenue in Morris Plains. The right lane is closed. We have a down pole on Route 202 both directions north of Newark Pompton Turnpike in Wayne with the right lane closed there, and a crash on the Turnpike Inner Roadway northbound exiting at interchange 13A by Newark Airport. That's going to cause an absolute mess, so give yourselves extra travel time getting to the airport. We have delays now reported on 287 northbound from south of exit 1 to north of exit 2 in Edison. All lanes are open, but that's causing bumper to bumper traffic through that area. So give yourselves time there. And your crossings into Manhattan right now. We have a gridlock alert day in effect every day this week, making your way into New York. So just beware of that. It's going to be a mess. Even if you get into Manhattan in relatively good time, getting around Manhattan by car is awful. I had to get in last week. Awful. Literally to go just a few blocks when I was in Midtown took like half an hour. It's just not worth it. Leave your car. If you're going to drive in, here's advice. Park in the uptown and downtown extremes, all right? And then take mass transit, getting around Manhattan. That's not a bad route to do, all right? That way you're getting around. You can make it from point A to point B. Your car is still on the island. You could drive home. But trying to drive through Midtown, you could literally spend half an hour making your way from East 42nd to West 42nd. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's a waste of your day. You're not going to get anything accomplished. We look at the Lincoln and Holland right now, both reporting 30-minute crossing times. The GWB upper and lower level 8095 approaches very, very heavy. You can see well, they were saying the upper on the right was a little better than the lower on the left. I think they're both about the same right now. So give yourselves extra travel time making your way in. It's a 40-minute commute via the GWB making your way into Manhattan. Again, a gridlock alert day in New York. So give yourselves extra time making your way in. All right, Pam, let's redo A if we can. So authorities yesterday released new photos and videos of a person of interest dressed in dark clothing as officials continue to search for the gunman in that deadly attack at Brown University that killed 2 students and wounded 9 others. Providence, Rhode Island Police Chief Oscar Perez released 3 videos of a person that authorities say they are looking to identify who was walking near the university's campus. The person was seen wearing a beanie that covered part of his face. Critics have complained the investigation has been slow and sloppy, and that authorities seem to be trying to protect the suspect for politically correct reasons. In fact, they even let students go home for the holidays, many of the students who were there and who are witnesses. They say the suspect may have shouted something before the shooting, but they won't say what he shouted. Witnesses, though, have told reporters he shouted, Allahu Akbar. Well, why aren't police telling us that? Because that might give us a better idea of whom we're looking for. And the first person targeted in the shooting was a well-known conservative Christian vice president of the university's Republican club. So why won't police talk about that? This could be politically motivated. Police seem to have dropped the ball, and they keep digging themselves deeper in a hole. I think right now there may be a liberal narrative taking place. The Democrat mayor and Democrat governor may not want it out there. Who knows? The shooting has rocked Providence and the community at Brown, one of the oldest and most prestigious universities, one of the best universities in the United States, and it is an absolute shame this happened. It's a tragedy, and there's no reason why a shooter, a gunman, is on the loose when we have, or should have, better surveillance video. One of the wealthiest, best endowed universities on the planet, and yet they had minimal surveillance cameras. They had like 1 surveillance video. They had doors that were unlocked, doors that don't have key passes. What are you thinking? How are you an institution in a major city in 2025 when you keep all your doors unlocked? A high school in Westchester County, New York, or in Wayne, New Jersey, has better security than Brown University had. That says volumes. It speaks volumes about how poorly run Brown is. For all the money the parents are spending, sending their kids to Brown, this is what they get. Come on, idiots at Brown University. You should have locks on every door. You should have key passes on every door. You should have surveillance cameras at every door and right now, you should have a plan for 1,000 surveillance cameras. What are you thinking? Oh, everything's just fine. We're Providence. You are between Boston and New York, you morons. Wake up. You are right in between, and you have Hartford a stone's throw away. All cities that have seen major incidents, major tragedies, and major crimes, and you just act like you're in the 18th century. Wake up. It is 7:40 right now. New Jersey Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill announced Jennifer Davenport as her nominee for the state's next Attorney General. Davenport's a lifelong public servant, has dedicated over 15 years to law enforcement, both at the local and state and federal level, for that matter. Governor-elect Sherrill praised Davenport's experience in complex civil and criminal cases and her commitment to public service. Davenport has served in top roles at the New Jersey Attorney General's office, including first Assistant Attorney General and Principal Law Enforcement Advisor. She also held positions with the DEA, U.S. Attorney's Office, and private practice, bringing lots of legal expertise. She said she is honored to continue her career in public service, focusing on keeping residents safe and advancing affordability across the state. As we reported yesterday, Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner were found dead inside their Brentwood home on Sunday. As of yesterday, Reiner's son, Nick, remained behind bars as authorities continued to investigate the stabbing of the iconic Hollywood director and his wife. Friends of Rob and Michelle Reiner said Nick had gotten into an argument with his parents at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party Saturday evening. Many people noticed that Nick was behaving strangely and that apparently they got into a loud argument, causing the director and wife Michelle to leave the party. Nick Reiner's $4 million bail was revoked yesterday. He has no bail option at this point. The death investigation will be presented to the LA County DA's office sometime today. Of course, we'll let you know about that tomorrow. Right now, we have a temperature of 15 degrees in Trenton, 18 degrees in northern New Jersey. Mostly sunny today. Highs about 30 degrees. Definitely chilly, not at all. A nice balmy, warm day. Just understand you'll need to bundle up when you go outside. When we come back, they'll be feeding lots of people over the holidays. How will you make sure nobody gets a foodborne illness? We will explain. You're watching ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your chilly Tuesday. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings for your Tuesday. It is 7:45, mostly sunny today. Highs about 30 degrees if we are lucky. That's where we are right now. Unfortunately, excuse me, as my teleprompter is stuck. It is going to be only, again, highs around 30 degrees. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So, Mike, even my teleprompter is frozen. Everything is frozen, it seems, except for us.
We're trying to stay warm, trying to find the warmth, but there is some warmth on the 7-day, and that comes with some very pleasant temperatures. As soon as Thursday, with highs that'll climb to near 50, it'll feel like springtime after today. Warming slowly through the 20s, maybe getting to around freezing there from Hackensack and Jersey City. So yes, plenty of cool weather around today with a mix of clouds and sun. Early morning cloud cover gives way to a little bit of sun throughout this afternoon. We're still dry, so important to talk about the rainfall deficit because now it's increased to about 1 to 2 inches. Even though there's a fresh snowpack on the ground, still need to fill those reservoirs, and we've been rather dry so far for the season. Well, warm weather is on the way, not just for us. For the next 2 weeks, most of the southern half of the country. Look at that, how warm it'll get with those dark shades of red, indicating strong signals of above average temperatures. Even with the dry weather that's forecast for Toms River and south, I think we'll likely see another shot of rain as soon as Friday. And that's what comes in on the 7-day forecast. With the wet weather that arrives late Thursday night into Friday morning, it's this heavy round of rain with all of that mild weather. You'll notice a really warm wind coming off from the south, and that's what allows temperatures to spike up to 50 degrees or better. I think we could see some mid 50s, especially walking around in the sun Thursday afternoon. It'll feel lovely. In meteorology, it's known as warm slotting, and you'll see how much melting occurs from a little bit more of that humid, warm breeze that takes over, even before the rain gets going. Now, with the rain on Friday, mostly wet weather throughout the early part of the day, but I think we'll see it transition to just clouds by the end of the day, and then temperatures come dropping down. It'll be in a tumble, but only to about the mid-20s, so likely not a hard refreeze, but there could be some slippery spots around, especially because by then, most of the treated roadways will have washed away, a lot of that rain washing away the treatments on the roads throughout Saturday and Sunday. But looking forward to not looking at the parking lots that look like ice skating rinks. Victim of one yesterday. It'll look like a nice skating rink in the middle of the parking lot. Throughout Sunday and Monday, the melting continues with temperatures climbing into the mid-40s and even with highs that'll climb to around 39 on Monday, starting off Christmas week with plenty of clear sky. And I think we'll transition to some milder weather. Look at these highs down the shore. We could make it to mid-50s by Thursday and plenty of rain on the way for Friday. But again, the slow cool down that'll bring us just around to the mid-40s by the early part of next week. So lots of wet weather on the way for Thursday night into Friday. But again, that will help the Slop Fest 2025 begin with all of the melting snow, the rain, all the fun that comes in with warmer weather, Ken, after a nice heavy snowfall.
You know, Mike, you call it a slop fest. I think winter aficionados like our friend Pam call it joy. So just keep that in mind, okay, when you say things like that. All right, we'll check back with you in a little bit, sir. We appreciate you as always. The temperature right now is a chilly 15 degrees in Trenton. It is 17 degrees in northern New Jersey, and the temperature in Vineland right now is 14 degrees. Brr. So apparently, as you go down and south, et cetera, and in, it gets even colder. We have some traffic, weather-related issues on the Ben Franklin Bridge, both directions from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. All lanes open. There's a lot of icing, though, and the footbridge is closed there. We have a disabled vehicle we told you about and showed you on the Pulaski Skyway northbound at Broadway in Jersey City. The left lane is closed there, and a crash on Route 10 northbound at Headley Avenue, Morris Plains. Right lane of 2 lanes closed. We have a down pole on Route 202, both directions north of Newark Pompton Turnpike in Wayne. The right lane is closed there, and a crash on the the turnpike inner roadway at Newark Liberty Airport. That is not good. Just as you're exiting to get to the airport, you're going to have issues making your way there. Big problem with that. So don't know how that's going to get solved, but nonetheless, that is the issue they're having. And we have problems making your way on the Hudson River crossings. Remember, today is a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. Gridlock alert day is never a good thing. And when you make your way into Manhattan, you are going to encounter tons of traffic, no matter what you're crossing. Right now, we look at the Lincoln and Holland tunnels. They're both reporting 35-minute crossover times. GWB upper and lower levels are heavy, very heavy right now, but they are moving. We're told about 40 to 45 minutes making your way in either way. So there you go. Give yourself lots of extra time. It is 7:50. With the holiday season comes lots of cooking, but that also increases the risk of foodborne illness and accidental food poisoning. How to keep others and ourselves safe? Well, the managing director of the New Jersey Poison Control Center at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School is here. We say good morning, Dr. Bruce Ruck. Good to have you with us.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Good. Could you send me a script for my laryngitis? I'd appreciate that.
Well, I'm a pharmacist, but I can give you some throat lozenges, but that's about it at my level.
Hey, you know what? I know in Europe pharmacists can prescribe anything too, right? So let's pretend we're in Italy. But anyway, we appreciate you coming on, Dr. Ruck. Lots of folks are going to be cooking for family in the days ahead, including older folks who may be a little forgetful and younger people who may have never cooked for groups before. So how much do rates of foodborne illness increase this time of year?
They go up dramatically. Last year around this season, we had over 200 calls to the Poison Center. Nationally, 3,000 or more people die of food poisoning each year. So we really want to make sure people take really good precautions in preventing potential contamination of their food, and so people do not get sick.
That's a great point. I remember when I was a kid, I remember wanting to help my grandmother prepare a meal. And I was working with raw egg product. And then I took the fork or whatever that I scrambled the eggs with, and I went to use it for something else. And she screamed. When she taught me, I was maybe 5 years old. She taught me what cross-contamination was. And it was a lesson, it literally stuck in my head all these years, and I'm a lot older than 5. But yeah, it's so important, don't you think, that somebody in the know about cooking and safety in the kitchen needs to pass on that knowledge? You can't just assume that, oh, I learned how to cook. Joe or Francis will learn how to cook too.
I agree with you 100%, and that's partly why we're here today, is to really educate everybody to make sure that we decrease the risk of cross-contamination. And that could be as simple as keeping any kind of foods that have juices like meat or chicken, and keeping it on the lowest shelves of the refrigerator, making sure that it's covered so that if anything does drip, it does not drip on anything else below it. But keep it covered, keep the stuff on a low shelf that may have juices dripping into a plate so it does not cross-contaminate, and use different utensils between each step of preparation. Wash the cutting boards. If you're going to be cutting it, wash it between your different types of meats. This way everything is clean. Do not recut on a board that used to cut raw meat. So if your meat or chicken was cut or sliced on a cutting board, then you cook the meat. Don't put it back on the original cutting board. Don't put it back on the original plate or tray. Get a new one or wash the one. I always tell my wife, so I don't have to do more dishes, wash the previous one and then we'll reuse it rather than just throwing it in the sink and then I have to wash it later. So, and that also keeps things clean. In all seriousness, it allows you to use fresh, clean utensils, clean cutting boards, etc.
Hey, Dr. Ruck, I got one more for you. How about when you're cooking? I've seen people cook chicken cutlets and they use the fork, and originally the chicken cutlet is raw, and they keep using the same fork as the chicken cutlet becomes cooked, and then they take that fork and take the chicken cutlet out of the oil and put it on the plate. Now, I've had people say, well, by that point, you've put the fork in the burning hot oil. Not necessarily. You could have a lot of raw material still on that fork. So my mother always used to keep several forks, and as you use it, put it in the sink, get another fork, use and because in the cooking steps, once you have food past the point where you've killed bacteria, you don't want to reintroduce bacteria into the food, right? So there's all these little things we have to worry about. Also, even using a towel on your hands when you have raw gunk, now the towel's contaminated. People just keep the towel there and keep using it, keep wiping their hands. You could tell I'm a foodie and I love to cook. Just that all these things, you have to always have 5 or 6 kitchen towels, and we always keep by our sink side. We always keep spray and or gel to clean the sink that contains bleach. And every time we do something with chicken or raw meat, you bleach it down, and you bleach the handle of the turning on your water, because you go to touch the handle to turn it on with raw stuff on your hands. Now you've contaminated that. Too many people, I think, just don't pay attention to those little tiny things, and that's what can get somebody really sick. I'm sorry to just to go on.
No, you're doing a great job. I should hire you. Actually, you're doing a great job here. But yeah, all your points are 100% accurate. They are absolutely great points. Use different utensils. Clean things down, soap and water. Some of the soap products do have a little bleach in it. You do also want to make sure you don't use any harsh chemicals on your counters that could damage your counters. So make sure you follow your manufacturer's directions for cleaning counters and stuff like that. But yeah, a little bit of bleach and soap. These products do clean very well. You don't want to mix all your cleaning chemicals, and you also want to make sure you don't spray it in or by your food. The last thing you want to do is have people then saying to you, "Oh, your food tastes like bleach." So yeah, cleaning up, keeping paper towels around. What I always do if I'm cooking or helping my wife in the kitchen, I keep the drawer where we have the garbage pail, that little slide out, open, so I can just take the paper towels that I use to clean my hands, clean the surface, and dump it right in the garbage, so I don't reuse it, so I don't cross-contaminate. And like you said, using a new fork, a new knife, a new cutting board each time, or cleaning in between each use is very important.
Excellent. All great advice, Doctor. What's a website for people to get more information and to know what they should be looking for if they're feeling a little sick? We got about 30 seconds left.
So the website is njpies.org, the New Jersey Poison Information and Education System. You can Google us or call us at 800-222-1222. We have a healthcare professional available on the phones 24/7.
Fantastic. The managing director of the New Jersey Poison Control Center at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School, Dr. Bruce Ruck. Thanks for coming on, and happy holidays.
Thank you. Same to you and your staff.
All right, we're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
A very good morning to you. It is 8 a.m. Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato with a little laryngitis today. Feeling okay, though, I promise. Phone lines are wide open, 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here with the very chilly Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
You know, Mike, nobody is happier in this household than my other half about me having laryngitis. It's the happiest week of his life. Just like he said, conserve your voice, conserve your voice. That's all I keep hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right. You'll
I'm
never hear
kind of
me
with
say that on TV again.
I'm with him when Stephanie doesn't have a voice. I'm like, ah, it's kind of it's a nice little
Yes.
vacation, right? Nice little break. 'Cause you got the baby running around screaming too. Oh, she's not watching right now. It's okay. She's running around chasing after the kid and dog. We've got great weather ahead though, right? Let's just quit while I'm ahead. Plenty of sunshine throughout this afternoon, especially to help us warm into the mid 20s. That'll start off our day, but eventually climb into the low 30s later on this afternoon. There is enough of a breeze to make for a wind chill. That'll make it nice and cool into the end of the day, but still plenty of sunshine around throughout the end of the day to help make up for the difference and the lack of warmth that'll be present throughout the end of the day. Notice all the temperatures that start off chilly but eventually warm back to around the freezing mark, and then with a southerly breeze tomorrow, the clouds come in the afternoon. However, there's some milder weather that'll send our highs into the mid 40s, and with all of the clear sky into the end of the day, could make it up to near 50 on Thursday, maybe even a few degrees warmer. So lots of warmth ahead. Also lots of rain that come through late Thursday into Friday morning as that wet weather pulls on through. It exits by the time the sun rises on Friday. Remember, we're approaching the shortest day of the year, so only about 9.5 hours of sunlight for the day, and then we start off the weekend a little bit cooler. Temperatures climb through Friday and then fall off a little bit back down to around freezing for the weekend. We'll give you that weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes, Ken.
All right, we appreciate you. Thank you very much, sir. Temperatures 18 degrees. We have soared to 18 degrees in Trenton. It is 21 degrees northern New Jersey right now. It's 20 degrees in Cape May, and it is 16 degrees in Vineland. We take a look at traffic in the area. Let's go, if we can, over to the New Jersey Turnpike, inner roadway, northbound, exiting at interchange 13A. We have a crash. And that's the exit for Newark Liberty International Airport. You can see all the vehicles bunching up there on the left side of your screen as they try to make their way off. So if you're trying to head to the airport, and a lot of people are right now, this is a mess. It's going to cost you extra travel time. Make sure you're aware of that. We have weather-related issues on the Ben Franklin Bridge connecting Philadelphia and Camden, New Jersey. And right now there's a lot of icing there. Also, the footbridge part of that is closed to pedestrian traffic. Just be aware of that. There's a disabled vehicle on the Pulaski Skyway northbound at Broadway in Jersey City. The left lane is closed, and a crash on Route 10 northbound at Headley Avenue, Morris Plains. The right lane is closed there. We also have a down pole on Route 202 both directions by Newark Pompton Turnpike in Wayne with the right lane closed. And your crossings into New York right now, the Hudson River crossings. Remember, we have a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. It's in effect right through Christmas. Right now, it's going to cost you about 25 minutes at the Holland, 35 at the Lincoln. Look at the GWB, upper and lower levels, just a mess. Look at that. Okay, the upper is still a mess. The lower seems to have opened up. That's a good thing. So given your option, the lower level on the left is definitely your preferred option versus the upper level on the right, which is still pretty heavy. 8:04 is our time right now, and many homeowners assume that they should wait until spring to sell their homes. But real estate experts say the holiday season can actually be one of the smartest times to list. This flies in the face of what we've been told all along. Steph Mann is an agent and owner at Dwell, New Jersey, and we say good morning to Steph.
Hey Ken, how are you? Good morning.
Good. Excuse the this mellifluous voice that I have right here. Pardon me. So I think, and I was among these. A lot of sellers think the holidays are a bad time to list, and I think they worry, as we always did in the past, and the number of homes we've sold, that if you list in the holidays and people aren't looking for homes, then it's going to sit on the market, and that looks bad. So why are they wrong?
Yeah, my first holiday season in the business, my very first December, I got a call that first week from a client who didn't know me. And your first year in the business, usually your only clients are those who know you personally. They had accepted a role across the country, so they needed to relocate and do it quickly. We needed to list the house in December. So pressure was on because, first of all, they didn't know me. And second of all, it was December and I had no idea what I was doing in the business. So, I followed the rule that I followed the entire year, spring, fall, and what worked well, which is price right and present right. We brought the home to market the second week in December. To my surprise, we had multiple offers and it did sell significantly over asking. And I thought to myself, you know what? There is something to this December holiday kind of list season because it's so much more about strategy, even more so than timing. So if you price right, present right, the buyers are still out there and they are still looking. Ken, if you think about it, most buyers that look throughout the year, they have alerts on their phone. It's online shopping these days when it comes to homes. And these alerts, they don't turn them off during the holidays. They may not be thinking about them, but if the right home does pop up and it is presented well and it is priced right, they'll make their way out to see it and they will place offers.
Oh, no question. I mean, we have, my family and I, we keep Realtor.com, Redfin. We get the alerts constantly because in the next year we're looking to buy. We're renting right now for the first time in decades, and
Yep.
no question, we're always looking. And yes, though there are fewer homes popping up than in the summer, they are still popping up. But I think maybe all the other realtors have cleared the way for you because they all think that it's not a time to list. So now Steph is the only real estate agent out there, and that's why you have an open roadway for if anybody needs a real estate agent right there. There you got it. So so that's fascinating. This flies right in the face of everybody, but clearly you have the experience to show that it works. So you think that the lower December inventory may also impact not only the buyer's behavior, but could also impact the price?
Absolutely. You do need to price specifically, strategically. And when it comes to, for those of you who are watching the market, if you do see homes that are sitting in December, it's usually for one specific reason. You do still have to play the game as a seller if you want to win. We've been in a seller's market here in New Jersey for going on 5 years now, and it is an easy game to win, but you do still have to play it. So homes that you see that are sitting in December usually made the very common mistake where the sellers will have looked at maybe what their neighbors sold for last month or the month prior, and they said, oh, you know what? He sold at X, so I'm going to list at X because I can get that. So that's really where the problem lies. And that's kind of a big mistake that sellers make, is thinking that they can replicate the results that their neighbor created just a month prior, but they're not going about it necessarily the same way. So, for homes that are sitting, or for sellers who are considering selling in December, what I would advise you is to list where your neighbor listed. And they got that, 50,000, 100,000, whatever it may be over ask price, but you're not going to be able to replicate those results if you go about it differently.
No, we know somebody who recently wanted to sell their home and their neighbor beat them to it to the market. And the neighbor had to get out of their home and they sort of distress sold it and sold at a low price. And it just destroyed our friends. Our friends were able to sell for a little bit above, but it created, let's just say, a little ripple effect in the neighborhood. Well, if that house sold for this is a comp, and et cetera. So there's always that could happen, but that's a rarity. What is
Absolutely.
the
Yeah. You
right
want to lean on your agent. Sorry, go ahead.
right? That is not typical, thankfully. I know it's a holiday season. People want to put up their holiday lights, and they may be selling their home with the holiday lights up. But where is the line between being festive and distracting when preparing a home for showings?
Yeah, you want to make it, keep it really classy. Try to keep personal items down when it comes to the holiday decor. Lots of greenery, lots of white lights. There obviously, I get asked a lot, do we keep a tree up? If a tree fits in the home nicely, it just does create such a warm environment for buyers as they walk through a very homey environment. They can picture themselves in the space, for sure. But really, if you have to move furniture around your home, then I would advise really not putting that tree up. But many homes, they do have these beautiful grand hallways. It's nice to keep a nice tree there, and I would say greenery and white lights all around. Along those same lines, when you're thinking about homes that do have more of a grand space, if you are looking to buy or sell more in the high end, one way to do that sort of in the holiday season is to go about it privately. So we've done that as well. It's nice to kind of bring select buyers and not necessarily, put it out there for the whole world to see, but bring buyers in one at a time. And, it's a different way of going about it, but also very feasible.
We had friends, actually a former neighbor who was a professional stager. That's what she did. And her advice always was take all the personal photos off the wall, anything showing family or names, take them off. And then she also said, whatever you have out, remove 25% of it to declutter the house. Even if you think it looks perfect the way it is, take out 25% of everything in every room and everything will appear larger. To us, it appears too cavernous, but to somebody walking in, it appears spacious. So that was great advice. And every time we've taken her advice, we've sold our homes. The last home we just listed, we sold in 3 days. So, and we got above. So it does work. Sometimes you got to listen to other people.
You know what, Ken? We're a full service team, so we do all of that for our sellers. So we come in, we pack everything up very nicely and neatly, label it for you, and then we leave it looking like perfection, like a magazine.
That's the way to do it, right? Hey, how can sellers position their homes right now to really stand out in a low inventory market?
Yeah, it's all about presentation. So like I said, you're online shopping as buyers. So you really do want to present the home as if it looks like a magazine. So many sellers say, oh, you know what, a buyer will just change this, or a buyer will just change that if they don't like it. But I'll let you in on a little secret. When you have multiple offers that come in on a home, maybe you have 5, maybe you have 10. In every home, there is what I like to call a crazy buyer. And it's that crazy buyer for every home that is going well above and beyond all of the other offers that come in. They're the ones that want that house. And it's the crazy buyers, to be honest, that are driving up the market, the prices right now. Just that one buyer in every house.
I got to stop you right there, Steph, only because we're out of time. We're up against a hard break. But quickly, what's the website in 10 seconds? Or website for more info?
dwellnewjersey.com. Check us out.
Awesome. Agent and owner at Dwell New Jersey, Steph Mann. Thank you for coming on this morning. Happy holidays to you, and go sell.
Happy holidays.
All right. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Very good morning to you. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings for your Tuesday, 8:15. Lots of sun today. Highs around 30 degrees. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
All right, Mike. So we are looking at more chill for a few days at least.
Well, there's a little bit of a milder trend, which is a nice change, considering how we can begin to re-feel our fingers and toes, considering have they been kind of numb over the last few days. This numbing cold that has lasted, and for the first time getting above the freezing mark since Sunday will be a nice change, especially down the shore. Make it to 33 in Long Branch. I mean, just clearing that freezing mark by the end of the day. Even with the wind not as harsh, there's not too much of a wind chill around right now, but the breezes that come in by this afternoon allow for a milder feel to take over, and that'll be the case into tomorrow morning as well. Thursday sees a little bit of a milder trend before the rain sets up Thursday night, and then that all clears for a cooler feel by Friday, with temperatures cooling back down into what will feel like around freezing. The winds, they'll be lighter today. They return by Thursday, but again, the wind direction is key, pushing in some milder weather, and then with those winds late at night into Thursday and Friday getting quite gusty again, it pushes in some of that gustier air and colder air, taking over by the end of the work week. Not a whole lot going on today, just a few clouds around. Probably see some more sunshine by the afternoon, and with it, temperatures responding, climbing to just above the freezing mark in central and southern New Jersey before milder weather takes over tomorrow. You can thank the wind for that, for pushing us up into the mid-40s. By Thursday into Friday, there's the rain that comes in late Thursday night, lasts overnight into Friday morning, and then clears just by daybreak on Friday morning. We'll see the last of the showers exit for a chilly feel on Friday with some clearing skies, but holding around the freezing mark, and then turning a little bit milder in time for the weekend. So as far as this weekend forecast is concerned, we're dry. We stay clear throughout each afternoon, a few passing clouds, and temperatures manage to rise back up to 45 degrees. That will feel quite pleasant before another cool down ahead for next week. We'll give you those details coming up on the 7-day forecast, Ken. That's in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate that. In terms of temperature, we are still looking at a, let's see, chilly 18 degrees in Trenton. It is 19 degrees in northern New Jersey. It is 18 down in Vineland right now. And at Cape May, we're talking 21, the warm spot down the shore at Cape May. There you go. In terms of traffic, we still have issues over the Ben Franklin Bridge, both directions from Pennsylvania to Camden. Lots of icing on the bridge, and the footwalk remains closed. We have a crash on the Turnpike southbound exit ramp to interchange 14 in Newark. 2 left lanes are now blocked. Over to I-80. We have a disabled tractor trailer on I-80 eastbound at exit 30 Howard Boulevard. That's in Mount Arlington. The right lane of 2 lanes closed right now. And we have a crash on 295 northbound. This is in West Deptford. North of exit 21 by Delaware Street, 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes and the right shoulder all blocked, causing massive problems through that area. We have a crash on US 1 northbound south of Route 18, New Brunswick. The right lane there is closed, and a crash on 17 northbound. That is at Hackensack, or rather from Summit Avenue, Hackensack to north of I-80 in Maywood. All lanes are open, but things are very heavy. Down pole on 202, it's been that way both directions north of Newark Compton Turnpike and Wayne with the right lane closed. We have a gridlock alert taking effect in Manhattan right now, so it's going to be a mess if you make your way into Manhattan. But right now, your Lincoln and Holland approaches are going to cost you about 30 minutes. GWB upper and lower levels. Let's take a look. You can see you're slightly better on the lower level on the left than the upper level on the right, but either way, it's going to cost you about 40 minutes in. 8:19 is our time right now. And Hope Worldwide's New York Metro chapter has been around over 100 years. It works very closely with the Newark Police Department's 4th Precinct to build stronger relationships between law enforcement and the community. Chapter Director Rhonda Clark has worked to create programs that bring neighbors and police together in really good and positive ways. And we say good morning to our friend Rhonda Clark. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. Happy holidays. And please tell us about the origins of the partnership between Hope Worldwide, New York Metro, and the Newark Police Department.
Yes, about 3 or 4 years ago, we had met the community director for the police department, Officer Ely, and we had painted a mural in one of the schools in Newark. And she asked if we could paint one in the precinct for her captain. And so we did. And the theme of the mural are words of encouragement. So as the police officers walk back and forth, they see empathy, respect, and all kind of positive words as they go out into the streets. And then that led to us doing many activities like a bike-a-thon where the police taught children how to ride bikes and then gave all the bikes away. And then recently, the past year, we've been working on a food drive where we're working to rescue food from establishments and restaurants and then take it back into the community.
How important do you think it is to start when people in the community are young? You have kids in the community, to let them understand the level of respect that they should have for police, but simultaneously getting police out of police cars and away from desks and into the community to talk to people and meet them one-on-one. How important is that interactivity?
It has been revolutionary. The kids, the parents in the schools will express fear for their children. And we've taken the police from being people that they hide from or have negative, reactions and making them friends, making the precinct a respite by doing toy drives at the precinct. Halloween, we turn the parking lot into a harvest. We have, pumpkins and apples and trunk or treats. So the police are literally interacting with the children, really getting to know them by name. When they see them, they're not just a face, it's someone who they've poured into. So it's very, very important. It's changed the way the kids look at police officers. Halloween, a lot of kids came dressed as policemen. Which was great. They're not someone that they're afraid of. They're someone who's a friend and really in the community.
And I think that once kids become friends with police, then if there's something bad that they might do, they'll stop and say, I don't want to do that because police officer Joe is going to be, I don't want to get him involved in it. I mean, I think that kids would think that way. Once they realize that the police officer is their friend that they don't want to disappoint, as opposed to the enemy and they don't care about. It just makes you, it's like people who are religious, like myself, who say, I don't want to do that because I'm offending God. Right. I know that's a chasm between that, but you understand what I'm trying to use, how I'm trying to use that analogy.
Totally. No, totally. And it humanizes, it gives humanity to the kids. And it gives humanity to the police officers. It's not just a uniform. It's not just a face. Yesterday, they were standing outside. We had a rescue of soup. And they literally the police officers were standing in the cold, passing out warm cups of soup to the community. And you can't just it's meeting a need, physically feeding them, but also the pouring into them, that they're out here in the cold with us, but they're meeting a need. It just really changes so much.
It's special, but it requires special people. I'm sorry to step on you, Ms. Clark. It requires special people like you and volunteers to make a program like this work, clearly. And you're a clearly very special person who loves the community. How many volunteers do you have helping out to make this happen?
Yes, so we probably have upwards of 100 volunteers that come into Newark. Today we're doing a big toy drive, and so I'll have maybe 10 volunteers come to that to help the police officers set up and pass out the toys. We anticipate, usually when we do these events, 300 to 400 kids show up. So it's a matter, you have to get the toys, partnering with the different establishments to get food, so that you think about it though, we're not paying for the food. So we're saving the planet. This is less food that's going into the waste and literally going into bellies of people who are food insecure. So this whole cycle that we've built, and volunteers, they love it. They love interacting with the kids. They love spending the time with the police officers. We've just really built a family through this.
Oh, that is so special. That is so special. And that's something those kids are going to keep with them in the back of their minds forever. That interactivity. Yes. It's just by getting them to have that relationship at this age, that changes the whole trajectory of their lives. And the fact that you had 300 or 400 kids come out to an event, they're going to tell their 2 or 3 friends each. And before you know it, 1,200 kids have a positive attitude toward the police as opposed to a negative one. You literally change a whole city that way. It's amazing. How do you plan on doing even more in 2026? That?
We hope so. We really do hope it makes a lifelong difference.
Well, with good people like you, I think it will. I was saying, how do you top this in 2026?
Oh, every year, the bike thing was amazing. We gave away about 300 bikes that day. And now doing this food insecurity, especially with the up and downs with the SNAP program. So for Halloween, instead of a lot of candy, we gave away gift cards so that people could go get food. For Thanksgiving, we've given out tons of turkeys. The police officers are standing in parking lots passing out turkeys. And so it just requires really more awareness, because to get the food, you have to partner with stores, restaurants, farms, and different grocery stores. So I'm hoping that more people will realize that we're here, we're ready to take your food, and it won't go to waste. You don't have to throw it away. But if you pour it back into the community, you thrive when you're not hungry. And so food scarcity is huge. So if the kids are eating, they're doing better in school, they're able to get better jobs, better careers, and then they have role models through the police officers. So if there are problems, they're going to go to them because they're their friends now.
And of course, it also makes a safer environment for the police to work in when everybody around them's a friend. That's another thing to keep in mind. We have about 30 seconds left. What's a website for more information?
Yes, you can go to hopeworldwide.org and look up the New York Metro chapter, and all of the activities and different things are listed there, and you can contact me directly.
Hope Worldwide's New York Metro Chapter Director, Rhonda Clark, you are a special person. Happy holidays to you. Thank you for what you do, and thanks for coming on this morning.
Happy holidays too. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well. And when we come back, you think it's a little cold, but it might be much more. We'll explain. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
And a very good morning. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. It is a Tuesday morning, 8:30, bright and chilly on December 16th. I'm Ken Rosato. Phone lines are open, 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be along in a moment with the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So, Mike, my hands and feet are finally warming up a little bit, but my vocal cords are somewhere out on Route 80.
Stuck in that traffic, probably by the 46 merge, there over toward
Exactly.
Wayne. But it's all about the cold weather today, Ken, that even the satellite is picking up some of that snow on the ground. You can just see here as the sun rises, some of those early morning spots. But anticipate a very clear afternoon beyond the morning cloud cover. We're back to sunshine through the end of the day, and that helps temperatures warm into the upper 30s for the first time since Saturday afternoon. It's been a while since we've been above the freezing mark, and even today with the wind gusts light, not all terribly chilly, even though highs managed to make it back into the just above the freezing mark there toward Newark. So with the clear sky around today, highs warm above freezing, and then we're right back in the freezer tonight. However, there's a little bit of a wind shift that pushes in the milder weather throughout the day tomorrow into Thursday, giving us more clouds, but has highs that get up into the low 50s by Thursday afternoon. That comes before the rain, and that wet weather gets going later on in the day, primarily at night Thursday. So you see this front slide through, clear sky into tomorrow, then clouds take over with that southwesterly breeze, and here's the heavy rain, the soaking rain that comes in for late Thursday into Friday morning, clears by daybreak on Sunday morning, rather Friday morning, and then we're back with the clear sky throughout most of the weekend. That clear sky helps temperatures warm back into the mid 40s each day. So beyond the milder trend that takes over for Thursday and Friday, yes, there's some rain overnight, we hold above average going into the weekend and stay milder into next week too. Down the shore could make it to 54 degrees on Thursday before the clouds, and then of course the rain on Friday, and then holding in the 40s going into next week. So this utter bitter chill that we've endured for, it seems like, most of December is going to flip and will be slightly warmer through the end of the month, Ken. So a nice change for the better.
Hey, now you got me nervous. My neighborhood, when somebody flips, you get a little scared. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying. It's something you don't want to usually do. Let's just hope, like I said, we keep our fingers crossed that if it's this cold in December, it's going to be nice and warm. We're going to talk about 70-degree days in mid-February. That's what we're talking about.
Can't wait.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Go stay warm. 18 degrees right now in Trenton. It's 21 degrees northern New Jersey. It's 17 degrees in Vineland and 22 degrees in Cape May. We have trouble right now. The New Jersey Turnpike. We have a couple of different issues. A crash down the Turnpike southbound exit ramp to interchange 14 in Newark. 2 left lanes are blocked there, and then up closer to the GWB. You have issues with a crash on the I-95 express lanes northbound south of exit 71 by Broad Avenue in Leonia. That's by Route 4 with the right lane blocked there. Let's go over to I-80, shall we? A disabled tractor trailer I-80 eastbound at exit 30. That's Howard Boulevard in Mount Arlington. The right lane is closed there. You can see the buildup there on your screen. We have also an issue on, there it is. My screen wasn't moving. And it just moved back. It's like, no, we're not helping you, Ken. Over to 295 northbound, north of exit 21, Delaware Street, West Deptford. 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes and the right shoulder closed. We have a down pole also on 202 both directions, north of Newark, Pumpton Turnpike and Wayne, with the right lane closed there. Remember, it's a gridlock alert day in Manhattan, so it is going to be a mess, even if you do make it in with your vehicle in relatively decent time. Your Hudson River crossings, the Holland Tunnel right now is going to cost you 25 minutes, 30 at the Lincoln. GWB upper and lower levels have been somewhat of a mess all day, and they still are. It's going to cost you about 40 in. A little better on the lower level, as you can see on the left, than the upper level on the right. Well, you hear my voice. You know everybody who's sneezing and coughing right now. I bet you don't realize it is RSV season. RSV is a respiratory virus similar to a common cold in healthy adults, but for infants, older adults, and immunocompromised people, it could lead to serious complications. Megan Faulkner is a doctor of nursing practice, a pediatric acute care nurse practitioner, and a clinical instructor at Rutgers University. We say good morning, Megan Faulkner.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Great. Good to have you on. And I have to ask you to tell everybody, please, what RSV is, what kind of a virus is this, and why certain groups need to be more concerned than others.
Sure, absolutely. So respiratory syncytial virus has been around as long as I have been a nurse practitioner and beyond. It is a virus that causes upper respiratory symptoms like cough, cold, very thick mucus. I almost liken it to Elmer's glue, and fever. So in a normal healthy adult like myself, and I'm assuming you, we would just have symptoms of a common cold. However, in very small infants, in particular neonates, those fresh ones that have just come to the world from us, and then also for older adults who are immunocompromised or anyone with a pre-existing lung condition, RSV can come along with some very serious complications and require hospitalization. So back when I was a nurse, starting in 2007, we had kids coming in droves requiring intubation, being put on mechanical ventilators and spending weeks in the hospital due to this virus. But in recent times, we've had introduction of a monoclonal antibody, which has really changed the game of RSV in general in the last 2 years.
And we started hearing about monoclonal antibodies being given to people with COVID right in the beginning when we didn't know how to treat it. And we didn't have the COVID vaccine, I put in air quotes, however much of a vaccine it is. But I'm not trying to discount it, but it didn't turn out to be quite as good as we thought. But nonetheless, but that's not discounting all vaccines. I want to clarify that. I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
We can speak about that a different time if you want. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm very, very pro-vaccine. I'm not anti-vaccine. But in this case, parents should be looking out for certain symptoms, especially in their children. So what are those symptoms that they should be looking out for? Is it that thicker phlegm that they may have that could cause RSV? It could be RSV, which could lead to a very serious infection for their children.
Yeah, so the biggest problem with small infants and in neonates as well is not only that they don't have built up immune systems, but their anatomy is as such that I bet you can, in the last couple of days, you've been able to cough up any of the mucus that's been stuck in your lungs or blow your nose to evacuate your nasal passageways. Well, little babies can't do that. So what that means is there can be mucus plugging inside of the lungs, and that leads to a condition called bronchiolitis that makes it very difficult for them to breathe. It can lower their overall oxygen levels, and that is usually what requires hospitalization in general for respiratory syncytial virus. And even in very, very small newborns can stop breathing and have periods of what we call apnea as a result of viruses like this. So it can really vary, but parents should be on the lookout for any color changes, anytime their infant is using their head or all of their muscles to breathe, or if for some reason they're more tired or not eating and drinking as much, that is cause to bring your child to medical attention.
That is interesting. And just quickly to talk about the monoclonal treatment, the FDA approved it now, right, for RSV treatment. So does that mean that most insurance companies are finally covering it?
Absolutely. You have to qualify. So historically, we did have a different kind of monoclonal antibody. And just to be clear, the difference between a monoclonal antibody and a vaccine is that the antibody is going to help prevent you from developing complications of the virus. It is not necessarily going to stop you from contracting the virus, which is very important. And I think why most individuals got very upset over the COVID vaccine. But we have seen a huge change in the game with the RSV monoclonal antibody. Normally, I have droves of children coming into the hospital, and I can tell you right now, we are seeing far less children being hospitalized for RSV. So any infant now can, up to age 8 months, can qualify for the RSV monoclonal antibody. If a child is going into their second season and up to 19 months, they can also receive the monoclonal antibody. And then any adult who is immune compromised or has a pre-existing condition over the age of 55 can also get it. And any adult over the age of 75 can qualify. So people should really talk to their providers about eligibility, and it is certainly available and covered by most health insurances.
And then also, look, as a nurse practitioner, I'm sure with all the number of people that you've probably been seeing, an awful lot of folks coming in with all sorts of respiratory viruses right now, especially for anyone over 55. How essential is it that they get their flu vaccine, that they get their pneumonia vaccine? Too many people I know don't think they need a pneumonia shot, but how fast, especially if somebody is sedentary, how fast can a respiratory virus turn into pneumonia for older people?
I mean, it's a matter of days, right? So starting with symptoms on day 1 and being hospitalized by day 3 or day 4, especially with sedentary lifestyles, the flu kills healthy people. I'm here to tell you, I have seen it kill healthy children. And the only thing that we have in our arsenal to protect is the flu vaccine. So that is one of the biggest proponents for me as a pediatric nurse practitioner in the pediatric intensive care unit. You can spare yourself that horrific heartbreak and nightmare by getting your child the flu shot, and your loved one, especially those who are older and immune compromised, the flu shot as well. You can walk into any pharmacy at any time. As long as the pharmacist isn't on a lunch break, you can get yourself the flu shot.
It's too easy. It's too easy to not get it. I put in my calendar a repeating thing. The third week of September every year is when I get my flu shot. I know that's I just mark out a day. And if I'm not at my CVS or a Walgreens, I just tell my doc, hey, can I get a flu shot while I'm here? And boom, I get it. It's stupid not to get one. You are just risking a serious illness, if not worse. And then perpetuating it by spreading it to everybody else. So just get the damn flu shot and be done
Absolutely.
with it. I've been screaming
Yes.
at the friends for years. What is a website? And by the way, I'm sure it must be frustrating. I have a friend who's a doctor of nurse practitioner, doctor of nursing practice.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because I know in the hospital, the MDs don't want you called doctor because they're like, we don't want confusion. I will proudly call you doctor because you earned that title and you worked very hard to get it. Doctor, what is a website for more information, please?
So I direct everybody to the cdc.gov website. You can actually look at local flu activity, RSV activity, COVID activity in your area. I know that the CDC website has changed slightly over the last few months, but the information for families, for parents, for caregivers about these viruses, red flags, and how to care for each other is super important. And I'm just going to tell you all, Christmas is great. Wash your hands, and if you're sick, stay home in your PJs and watch National Lampoons. Don't go spread the love to your family that way.
That is great advice. We appreciate you, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Pediatric Acute Care Nurse Practitioner, and Clinical Instructor at Rutgers University. I wish I had you as an instructor. Megan Faulkner, thank you for coming on this morning. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you, Ken. Happy holidays. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Thank you. And we're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
And welcome back to ONNJ Mornings for your Tuesday, 8:46, and meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
And we're having a heat wave. Look at that, Mike. It's way up to 18 degrees in Trenton. 18. I'm going to go get my reflector and lay out in the sun.
Well, while you do that, maybe have the little Satriale's, pork, pig in the background, kind of fit the theme, especially with all the sunshine today. It really will feel pleasant with highs that will be well up into the mid 30s only, but still, that's nice compared to what it's been in Jersey City. 33 is your high today, even for you in Newark. All the sun today helping to bring our temperatures back closer to the 40s over the next several days. We're still running dry, even though we picked up a good amount of snow. It doesn't melt down to all that much, and so our rainfall deficit is still running anywhere from 1 to 2 inches below average. Here's all of the warmth all across the southwest. That lasts through the end of the month. We'll start to see this migrate eastward over the coming days and weeks, and that'll be nice, especially to help us warm as soon as Thursday, with the 7-day forecast pointing to highs that will be up in the mid 50s before the rain sets up for Friday. And even with that rain on Friday morning, it all clears out by the probably 7, 8 a.m. time frame, leading to a cooler day, but sunny and breezier for the weekend, and still milder into Saturday and Sunday. So with highs staying well above freezing, it'll look nice even down the shore. Temperatures in the mid 50s down the shore. Temperatures climb into the mid 40s this weekend and stay there into Christmas week. So we have a nice milder trend taking us into the holidays, Ken.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Having issues with my computer here. My little tab is not. There we go. I got it to move. Sorry, Mike. That's a my issue. I'm sorry. We'll check back with you mañana, sir. Enjoy your day and stay warm.
See you tomorrow.
You bet, sir. It's always right when Mike is finishing up that my computer decides to freeze up. All right, it is now 8:48 right now, and in terms of traffic, we got a lot of it that has popped up. Let's go to the New Jersey Turnpike right now. We have two different issues, but the one we'll tell you about, we'll show you here. There's a crash on the Turnpike southbound exit ramp to interchange 14 in Newark. You can see that is bumper to bumper as people are trying to get off there. Right now. Also further north from that point, not too far north, but just a little bit further north, there is a crash on the Turnpike, I-95 express lanes northbound south of exit 71, which is Route 4 Broad Avenue in Leonia with the right lane blocked. We have issues on Route 29 right now, a crash northbound south of Lalor Street in Trenton with the left lane closed, and a crash on Route 73 both directions by Green Tree Road in Evesham Township. The left lane is closed there. Disabled vehicle on US 1 southbound north of College Road in Plainsboro. The right lane is closed there. We have a crash on 295 northbound north of exit 34, Route 70, Cherry Hill with the left shoulder closed. And we have a down pole on Route 202, both directions north of Route 683 in Wayne. The right lane is closed there. We have a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. Your Hudson River crossings all looking kind of ugly right now. Holland is your best at 25 minutes across, 30 at the Lincoln. GWB upper and lower, very heavy. Look at that. It's bumper to bumper. I don't know if there's one side better than the other, but we're told right now it's going to cost you 45 minutes in. And then once you get into Manhattan, it's a gridlock alert day. So just, take mass transit if you can. That's your best bet. 8:49 is our time. And of course, the holiday season is a time for celebration, but it also brings stress and loneliness. Focusing on gratitude and emotional wellness can help people finish the year in a positive note. Dr. Bradley Nelson is a holistic physician and best-selling author of The Emotion Code, The Body Code, and the upcoming The Heart Code. And we say good morning to Dr. Nelson.
Good morning, Ken. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. And maybe give you some treatment for the holistic treatment for the laryngitis. Who knows? It could be something emotional I'm holding on to. I'm saying it kiddingly, but I'm sure there may be something like that. The holiday season can be both joyful and stressful, of course. So why is it so important to be focusing on emotional healing?
Well, Christmas is just 9 days away, right? And it's supposed to be this time of happiness and love and wonderful things. But the truth that not everyone talks about is that for many people, this season brings stress and anxiety and disappointment and loneliness. And if that's you, I want you to know that you're not alone. And more importantly, there's something you can do about it. Over my years, 37 years as a holistic physician, and through my work with hundreds of thousands of people around the world, I've discovered that our ability to feel gratitude is directly connected to the condition of our hearts, and not just our physical hearts, but our energetic hearts. When our hearts are open and free, gratitude flows naturally. But sometimes our hearts are blocked or protected by walls of trapped emotional energy. And then gratitude becomes more difficult to access no matter how hard you try. And this discovery is so important that I actually wrote a book about it. It's called The Heart Code that you mentioned, and just came out December 2nd. And in this book, my wife Jean and I focus on one of the most profound discoveries that I've ever made, something called the heart wall. And what this book does is it teaches you exactly how to identify and take down your own heart wall step by step. So here's what this is, because I know that this sounds kind of strange for most people. Throughout your life, you've experienced difficult moments, right? We all have. Heartbreak, loss, rejection, betrayal, disappointment. And during those painful times, your subconscious mind did something remarkable to protect you. If you think about a time in your life when you felt like your heart was breaking, that's a physical sensation, right? That's where that word heartache or heartbreak, that's where those come from. You can feel like there's an elephant sitting on your chest or like you can't breathe. That's a real thing. So what the subconscious mind does is it takes the energy of literally your emotional baggage that you've accumulated in your life, and it builds a wall around your heart, layer by layer, to shield you from being hurt again. And it's an act of self-preservation. And in a way, it serves you at the time. It's an effort by the subconscious mind to protect your heart. But the problem is that same wall that was meant to protect you now is blocking you from fully experiencing love and connection and creativity and abundance and, of course, gratitude. It's like living your heart behind or living your life behind a barrier that keeps the good stuff out while you wonder why you can't seem to feel the joy and appreciation that others talk about. But the good news is you can take down that wall. What we have found is that 93% of people have put up this invisible wall around their heart. It's a subconscious creation. People have no idea that it's there. And yet, what it does is it interferes with your ability to really give and receive love, to feel gratitude, to create the perfect life that the blueprint for which lies within your heart. It's
Doctor,
been
if I
called the
may,
most important discovery in energy medicine. Yeah, go ahead.
if I may, it sounds a little like what, I mean, on the physical level, what scar tissue or a callus is, right? Because your body creates
Yes.
layers of extra skin when you get cut to protect you from re-injuring that site. Or if you keep rubbing something, you get a callus to protect it. So it's sort of like the emotional equivalent of that. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. And in fact, thank you. That's a great analogy. I'm going to use that. It's
It's
really
yours.
true.
There you go.
It's an amazing thing,
So,
when this invisible wall is taken down, people often fall in love who had never fallen in love before. Everybody that's been through a divorce has put up this invisible wall of energy around their heart to protect their heart. But then that's what makes it so much more difficult for people who have been through a divorce to fall in love again because of that hurt that is there. So there's a way to get rid of that.
well, let's talk about that because we only have a couple of minutes left here. I want to talk about the power of journaling, and you talk about how important that is. So discuss that.
Well, absolutely. If you think about it, when you when you make a record and you write down the things that are going on in your life, one of the things that happens is you become more aware of the ways that you are really you're being blessed in your life. The little things that happen to us that we often ignore, we begin to recognize more when we start to journal. Um, it's interesting, especially if you ask yourself how, what are the good things? What can I be grateful for that has happened in my life today? When you're writing in your journal about those things, you begin to focus more on the positive things in your life, and that shifts your focus, and it can actually change your life. Gratitude is just such an incredibly powerful thing. And that's one of the great ways to actually begin to focus on gratitude is through journaling.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, and it just sounds so much healthier on so many levels. Even from the medicinal point of view, it lowers your cortisol levels, right? And that's what keeps you healthier. It keeps you from gaining weight. There's so much
Yeah.
connected to bottling up stress and negative emotion. And I mean, this is why from the religious world, the idea of confession and forgiveness is so important too, and it's all tied together. Like just you have for many years people saying, "Let go, let God." Just release the negative emotion, and the only people you're hurting when you hold on to hatred and negativity towards someone is yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a great quote in the Emotion Code book from a guy named Lewis Smedes who said, forgiveness is like setting the prisoner free only to find out that the prisoner was you.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Doctor, what is a website for more information? Because I could talk to you about this for days.
Yeah, absolutely. People can visit our website at discoverhealing.com. They can also visit our personal blog site at drbradleynelson.com, where they can pick up a copy of the Heart Code book and get some special gifts. Of course, it's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, everywhere books are sold as well.
I love it. Holistic physician, best-selling author of the Emotion Code, the Body Code, and the upcoming, or now we just have out the Heart Code. Dr. Bradley Nelson, thank you for coming on. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you, Ken. Same to you.
You bet. And that is on New Jersey Mornings for this Tuesday, December 16th. I'm going to go rest the voice. Ken Rosato. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Take care.